All right. Hi, thanks for coming in today. I'm
Hi.
Angie.
Roseann.
Roseann, nice to meet you. So, yeah, you filled out some paperwork before you came in today.
It's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've got a lot of different stuff that we've got to go through, and just to make sure that you understand the process and some of the risks and some of the positive outcomes, hopefully, that we'll get to too. So, just one thing that I wanted to kind of go over, just to make sure that you're aware of, is that the limits of confidentiality. We do take holding what's said in session in confidence very seriously, but there are some limits to that, that some are legal, that we want to make sure that you understand. So if anything, comes up in session, if you talk about harming yourself or others, that would be a situation that might require us to take some action there, just to protect you or other people. And we could kind of talk through and see how big a risk that we think that is. If there's information that comes out about abuse of a minor, any children, physical, sexual abuse, or a vulnerable adult or elder, those would be also cases that we would have to break that confidentiality to let someone know. In cases of a subpoena, there are times when the court requests information. We do what we can to try to limit it to only the information that's necessary for that court proceeding.
Okay.
So you're aware of that. And apparently, if there is a threat to the life of the United States, we also have to report that.
Okay.
Can't say that I've ever had to do that. But
Okay.
Do you have any questions on any of that or any of the
No.
other paperwork?
No.
Okay. Well, let's get started. What brings you in today?
Well, I'm thinking about leaving my husband because when we got married, he told me that he wanted kids, and now he's changed his mind. And after 2 years of trying to convince him, I'm not getting any younger, obviously. So I think that I just know I want to have kids, and he doesn't. And I think that's something I need to look at, just leaving him.
That's a pretty big decision.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me a little bit more about how things kind of led up to this. And
Well, we graduated from college. We've been together for quite a while. We're together for probably like 6 years before we got married through college. And then I got a job and he was finishing law school. And he said once he was done with law school, we'd get married and then, we could buy a house and start our family. Well, then he finished law school and we bought a house and we got married. That was 2 years ago, and since then he's just been focused on work, and I tried to stay focused on it, and now it's gotten to the point where I'm alone at home all the time and want to have kids, and
so
he
you
doesn't
feel
want to.
pretty lonely.
Yeah.
You're by yourself.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. We don't live close to family, and I only have a couple of close friends. We're all having kids now too.
So you're hearing about all their
Yeah.
family stuff. And,
Yep.
So that's got to be tough. So you said something about him, it sounded like there was kind of a promise, or that he had said that.
Yeah, when we went through our premarital counseling, and up until that point, we'd always talked about starting a family and having kids, and he loves kids, so I don't understand what the change has been, but every time I bring it up or we talk about it, it just turns into a huge argument, and he says he doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
So he's, at this point, just saying no, and
Right.
discussions don't really seem to be going.
Yeah, it used to be, we'll talk about it later, maybe in another year. Like when we got married, it was let's settle down and, get used to being married and living together. Because we didn't really live together that much because he was in law school, about an hour away. And so I had a really good job, and he always intended to come back to where I was working. And he did. And so we had to adjust to living together. And that was fine, and I was okay with that. But I figured after about a year, we would be okay and ready to start. And we're financially sound, so that's not the problem either. Which, we weren't sure with him in his law firm where he got a job if we would be ready after a year, but we are ready. So,
You're ready.
yeah, I'm ready, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not. He just doesn't seem to want to talk about it either, and he's very closed off emotionally too, and that makes it very hard for me to know how to address any concerns with him.
So it's frustrating for you to want to talk about it and feel like you're
Right. Even just talk about anything. He doesn't want to talk
Mhm.
about anything anymore now too, it seems. But it really, we've kind of grown apart in the last 6 months because he's just so closed off too.
Yeah.
And I've let the baby thing go to see if that would help, but it hasn't helped.
Okay. So it's not just kind of the relationship around having a family and having
Right.
a baby. It seems like there's
That's
more
my
to
biggest thing. That's one of my biggest reasons I want to leave. But I do love him. I don't want to not be with him. But if we can't be in a communicating marriage, I'd rather be alone and alone than married and alone.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like that's kind of a dilemma. So you said you're ready to leave him, or you're just kind of thinking about it?
Just thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's a huge change. We've been together so long, and I'd have to start all over, and I don't want to see him be lonely either, because we've only been with each other since, we were 19 when we started dating.
So you've been with him for
A long time.
So is that a little bit of fear? Anxiety?
Yeah,
Thinking about
it's scary leaving him.
Mhm.
He was my best friend. I guess, think he would be my best friend if he would talk to me, but he doesn't want to talk to me at all. I only see him like 2 days a week.
So just with work schedules?
Yeah, he comes home late at night, and I have to be up early in the morning, and he goes right back to the office in the morning. And
Ships pass in the night.
right.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. So even trying to get pregnant would be really hard because we don't see each other.
Yeah, we kind of have to have a little bit of time together.
Yeah. We don't have sex anymore because we don't see each other. And a lot of times then when we are at home together, we're working on projects around the house, or, lately I've been spending a lot of time with my friends on the weekends. And I don't know what he does on the weekends. He doesn't want to do anything, so I just kind of leave him at home by himself.
You're
Big
trying
boy.
to get your own needs met. And
Right,
in your own way.
right, and I'm not going to take care of him.
Do you feel like he needs to be taken care of? That there's
Some-
something going on there?
Sometimes he just seems like I don't know, he doesn't want to get dressed sometimes. He just sits around in his underwear all day long. And I understand he's got a stressful job too, so I understand he just wants to relax, but sometimes it'd be nice if he'd go golfing with some of his friends like he used to.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to want to do that. He loves to golf, so I don't know why he doesn't want to go.
So you're feeling both an emotional disconnect, and then there's also just kind of that physical disconnect too, where you're not really seeing each other, talking to each other, and even when you do, that emotional kind of connection.
I feel like I'm talking to my dad, like, hey, how was your day? Okay,
Yeah.
talk to you later, kind of thing. We've lost that connection. We used to be very close. We talked all the time, especially, being away from each other for 2.5 years while he was in law school.
Sure.
Having that long distance relationship, we talked on the phone all the time.
Kind of forced you to
Right.
find other ways to communicate.
Right. And so we were very close, and now we just don't have that anymore. And I don't understand what happened.
Yeah.
When I try to talk to him, he gets mad.
Yeah.
And now, I guess if I could even just get back to that relationship that we had, I might be able to overlook not having a family right now. But right now I don't have a husband either, so it's hard.
Your lonely
Yeah.
existence. So when did you kind of notice things changing, looking back?
It's probably been over the last year. I think it's probably gotten the worst, in the last 6 months. Let's see. My best friend's baby was born probably about 4 months ago. And when they asked us to be godparents, it was really exciting for me. And he wasn't quite sure about it. He did do it because we have been friends with, my best friend and her husband since college too. So,
Couple friends.
yeah, he agreed to it, but he just didn't seem like he was interested in it. And it didn't seem like him.
So you think things have kind of changed
Yeah,
in him?
in him. And in turn, it's making me feel different and questioning.
And you're struggling,
Right.
trying to figure out,
Right.
and left kind of holding the bag and looking what's
Yeah.
going on with the relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of a tough, to try to take responsibility for a two-person relationship.
Right.
So how have you've mentioned a couple of ways where you've kind of, gone out with your friends and trying to do those things. What other kind of coping things have you done to kind of deal with that loneliness and frustration?
I do spend a lot of time with my best friend and her husband and their son now. And we do a lot of stuff. We go shopping together and we spend a lot of time at their house, with them having a young baby. She's still kind of overprotective and thinks that everything bad's going to happen when she leaves the house with him. And I keep telling her he's a baby, it'll be okay. But, when I'm at home, my house is really clean.
Yeah.
Well, because nobody's there to make it dirty usually, but I do keep it pretty clean just because keep myself busy. Otherwise, I just sit and watch TV.
And are you working outside the home?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I work about 40 hours a week. I'm usually there about 7 in the morning and I get done around 4. And it's not a very stressful job.
Yeah.
So.
Is it something you enjoy?
Yeah, it is. I don't mind it. It'd be, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I like it. Right now it's okay, but I thought about going back to school, but, I still want to start a family, so I'm not really sure about going back to school. And I thought if I go back to school, then if I wanted to cut back on my hours, once we have a family, then it would be kind of hard. And I don't know. Yeah. I do like my job, though. I like who I work with. And like I said, it's not high stress, so it's a big reason not to leave.
More stress with the relationship with your husband.
Right.
Than anything else.
Yeah. It's nice to go to work because there's more people to talk to.
Yeah. A little reprieve from the loneliness. And
Yeah. It's not.
You're not alone at home.
Right. And it's not stressful. And all my coworkers are about my age, so we have a lot in common. Not that we don't spend much time together outside of work, but we get along really well. And I usually go to lunch with the same 2 girls every day, and so that's kind of fun. And they have stories about their little kids, and the one just became an aunt again. So that was it's fun to listen to their stories. But
A little bittersweet.
yeah, it's hard because they look to me for stories, and I don't have any stories except for about my best friend's little boy.
You probably like nothing more than to
It'd be nice to have my own story once in a while.
baby story to tell.
I don't have any siblings, so
So no nieces,
or nephews. My husband's younger brother I don't know. He's weird. So we're not quite sure about him if he'll ever get married and have kids.
You're not holding out hope to have
No.
nieces
No.
and nephews on that side of the family.
No,
Mm.
we still think maybe he might be gay, but that's okay. Maybe he'll find a nice boyfriend and they'll adopt some, but he's still weird.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong drive to have kids, and sounds like that's really a pretty deep
Right.
desire.
Yeah, it is.
So,
And I maybe too it's because, my husband's parents keep pushing the topic too, because we've been together for so long.
So you're getting some pressure from his side of the family?
Right.
And do they, is anyone
It's-
else kind of aware of the
it's-
situation?
Yeah.
Have you talked to anyone else?
I don't know. My best friend knows about it. We talk about it. But she's, didn't have any pressure. They agreed right away
Yeah.
to have kids and tried one, right when they got married, they started trying. So she doesn't know what it's like to feel the pressure. I did talk to my mother-in-law and told her, that Joe just isn't really into it right now. So to kind of back off a little, but my father-in-law, Joe Sr., he really is on Joe's case all the time.
So you guys are still getting some pressure. And
Right. And I don't know why they care so much. They live like 5 hours away. But they keep saying, you got that huge house, you should fill it up. And
That's got to be kind of tough to hear, though, because you're thinking, I'd like
Yeah.
nothing more to do that, talk to your son
Exactly.
kind of thing.
yep, and that's what I tell, Senior every time he brings it up.
Yeah. He's got to talk to his son about it.
Mm-hmm. And then I get yelled at for, saying that from everybody.
From your husband, or?
Yeah, he just kind of, he gets mad when I say, talk to your son about it, because it's not my choice. And then he gets a little upset because he thinks that I share all of our personal business with everybody, and I really don't.
So he's kind of more of a private person and doesn't think
Right,
that
right.
should be shared,
Yeah,
what you guys are kind of dealing with or,
right.
or not dealing with.
And I don't really share with anybody. I just, when Joe Senior brings it up, I just say, talk to your son.
Right.
It's his choice right now, not mine. And I don't know. My mother-in-law is very understanding. She doesn't bring it up anymore. We talk about it, sometimes. And
Yeah. So you've got some supports there, even though your best friend maybe doesn't understand exactly what
Right.
you're going through. It sounds like she's still been
right. Yeah.
supportive and a good
She
listener.
is. And, it is helpful because she knows Joe well,
Mm,
too. But she's mentioned that she's seen a change in him.
yeah.
We used to have dinner with him once a week, the four of us, and he never wants to go. And
So definitely something going
Right.
on with him.
right.
And have you done any couples therapy at all? Is that something that you considered?
Keep trying to get him to go, and he doesn't want to go. So I decided I'd just go on my own.
Yeah, those guys are sometimes a little hard to. Sometimes it takes a crisis to get them.
Right. He keeps saying he doesn't have time because of work, but I think his firm would give him an hour a week to go.
Well, at the very least, you're doing something for yourself and taking care of your own needs, and I guess in the end, that's maybe all we can do.
Right.
Well, that's all of our time for right now, but we'll meet again
Okay.
and continue on. Hope you get a little bit of sun this week, and maybe that'll help.
Hopefully.
Feel a little better. It's been a little grim outside.
This weather sucks.
Yeah.
I keep saying it's like we live in Seattle and we're nowhere near Seattle.
No, it's been a rough winter and spring.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Roseann. Good to meet you, and
Good to meet you.
we'll see you again.
Okay.
All right. I wasn't quite sure how to end it there, but okay. Now I'm doing stop.